Ciao Bella! Welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Today, we are going to do a fiber arts on screen that is pretty timely in the sense that this show is happening right now. Not at this very second, perhaps, that you're watching this, but it's still in its first season. As of the filming of this, it's only gone through its second episode, and it is creating a big stir in many communities. So I thought that I would just talk to some of you all about it. You may not have heard about it. You may not even be able to watch it, unfortunately. But I have been able to see episode one. I have not been able to see episode two yet, but I am excited just in what it brings to the crafting world, right? So, if you did not see the title, I am talking about the show Game of Wool, and this is a British competition show, much like Great British Bake Off and the Great British Sewing Bee. But there's also a lot of other competition shows in all different fields, right? You have things like Ink Master, you have things like Face Off or Glow Up. You have things like um, what is it? Project Runway, and then there's always the singing competitions. American Idol, um, Dancing with the Stars. All those different kinds of competition shows, and those are a big deal as of late, right? So for someone who doesn't watch a ton of TV, if it's something that I'm interested in, I will try to find a way to watch it. A lot of the competition shows I'm not really into, but the Great British Bake Off I did spend a lot of time watching. I do like cooking shows. But anyway, that's not why we're here. I just wanted to kind of talk to you and introduce you to the show Game of Wool. There have been a ton of podcasts out that are analyzing each and every detail of the first episode, the second episode, the show as a whole. I'm not really going to do that because I want you to be able to make your own opinions. I will talk a little bit about some of the issues surrounding some of it, but I'm not going to go into huge detail. All right, this is surface level. I will link some of the podcasts, YouTube channels, and things like that I've watched, and some of the articles that I've read, right, in research. I'm always going to give you my sources, but I'm not going to do a super deep dive, right? So if you have not heard of the show, you don't know anything about it, right? Game of Wool is the British knitting competition show that Tom Daly is the star host of, right? And if you don't know who Tom Daly is, he is a British Olympic diver. He was in Paris, right? And you would see him knitting while waiting for his turn or after his turn or, while supporting his teammates. And since then, he has exploded in the knitting world, right? Showing all sorts of things on social media. And he's been knitting for a while. It's not something that he just picked up literally for the Olympics, right? So you can definitely follow him on social media. You can do all of those things if you're interested in his story as a diver, as a knitter, those kinds of things. But this is something that he is hosting along with two other knitters, and it is interesting. I don't knit, right? So I'm learning a lot of things and some terms even while I was watching the first episode. I was like, I'd be like, have to pause it and be like, what does this mean? Well, how do you do this? Right? So even though I'm not a knitter, I find this show really fascinating in the sense that it's bringing awareness to the fact that there are crafters of all walks of life, right? The people that are in this competition have very different stories, they have very different lives, and what brought them into the fiber arts world, their stories are different, right? And to see all of that come to your TV screen is phenomenal. Now, are there issues with the show? Sure, right? Are there people who are upset with things that are happening on the show? Absolutely. Um, Rowan, the yarn company Rowan, is sponsoring the yarn for um, at least this season. I don't know what will happen if there's a season two. Um, but there are some controversies over the knitting needles that they're using, the size of yarn that they used, especially in the first um, challenge. There is controversy over the use of the term Fair Isle, and many people are upset over that. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it. I just thought that if you had not heard of this show and you are able to watch it, it airs in England and Great Britain on Channel 4. Um, I don't live in England, so how I got to see it, well, it's it's I was able to watch it. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, I don't have cable or anything like that, so I was able to um, find a way to watch it, and I did really enjoy it. Right, I had to pause several times and look things up because knitting is not something that I am familiar with. I mean, I know it in the sense that I know you use two knitting needles. I know some of the names of some of the stitches, but some of the things that they were doing and some of the techniques that they were using, I was like, I have no idea what that means, right? So I would go and I would look up what that means, and then, uh, so you do need to have some crafting knowledge in order to fully understand the show, but that doesn't mean you can't learn along the way, right? This does inspire me to want to challenge myself to do things in other um, yarn weights that don't make me very comfortable. It does not inspire me to pick up knitting at this time, right? Just because I have so many other things on my plate. I will get to knitting eventually. I just can't put one more new thing on my plate. Like, I'm still trying to learn Italian and I am struggling, right? So I know that's not the same, but I don't want to put another thing on my plate if I haven't gotten comfortable with some of the other things that I need to do in my life versus things that I just want to do. I do lots of things that I want to do. Just learning how to knit is just on the back burner for now. So if you have the opportunity to find a way to watch the Game of Wool, please do. Please check it out. I would love to know your opinions, your thoughts. How do you think that the rest of the season is going to go? Who do you think out of the contestants that are left, right? Who do you think is going to win, right? What would be your, who would you hope would win? Who do you think is going to win? Because that could be different, right? You could be hoping for the underdog, but somebody who's really skilled, you'd be like, I think that's going to be the winner. I don't know, right? I do wonder what the next competitions are going to be, right? I have not seen episode 2 yet. I will watch it. And I will watch this entire season, right? I will watch this entire season just because I want to know who wins, honestly, but also I think that this is, like I said, a really great opportunity for the fiber arts community to rally around something that is putting fiber arts in the forefront, right? It's showing you that um, it's not just something that you hide away and sit in a rocking chair and do, right? I don't even own a rocking chair, but that's the perception that we have, right? Of people who sew, people who quilt, people who knit, people who crochet, any of that, right? And it's so very stereotypical and it's so very just mind boggling that so many people see this as a craft for old ladies. And it's not, right? It's open to anyone and everyone who wants to learn and who has a little bit of patience, right? Just a little bit. You don't have to have a lot. Because I run out of patience with a lot of things that I try to crochet. But I tell myself that I can do it. I'm able to do it, and I might have to take it apart a couple times. I might have to figure it out. I might have to put it down and say, you know what? Not right now. Not yet. Right? But we'll get there. And it's something that I really want to do. So then I will do that. Right? So I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put some links in the description box. Some will be podcasts that I've watched about the show. Some will be articles around some of the controversies, right? But please comment one if you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, are you able to watch it? Is it something that you're able to do? Are you able to find? Um, and then tell me your thoughts on the show if you have seen it, right? And then if you haven't seen it, tell me what you think a show like this does for the fiber arts community, right? Do you think that it's going to bring too much controversy? Do you think that it's going to be uplifting and helpful? Anything, right? So this is just a quick episode of Fiber Arts on Screen, just because this show is so new. Um, so there have been pictures that have been popping up of some of Tom Daly and knitting, and then some of the show and the contestants, right? But maybe at the end of season one, I'll come back and do an update. We'll see, right? But until then, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao, Bella!